Now I'm just going to leave you with a little test just to check your flexibility. Has everybody got pens and paper? Everybody got a wee pen and paper? Right. Have you got a marker here? Yeah. What I'd like you to do is draw a big square. This has been done, by the way, in 7 seconds. The fastest, sorry, actually 6 seconds is the fastest it's ever been done. Let's check your flexibility. Draw a big square, and inside the big square is 6 squares. Try and copy that as much as possible. These are squares. Okay? Draw this on a piece of paper, if you can. See if we any 6-second experts in the room. Now, these 3 boxes sit on the bottom of this line. There are no spaces. Draw it exactly. That is a green instruction. Some people draw whatever they want to draw it. That's not green, that's yellow. And this box sits at the top of this square. So it's a big square with 6 boxes inside it. Okay, everybody got that drawn? Alright, here's what I need you to do. It's just a little test in mental flexibility. Listen to all the instructions before you start. What I'd like you to do with 3 new lines, new additional lines, I'd like you to join the boxes A to A with 1 line, B to B with 1 line, and C to C with 1 line. However, these 3 new lines that you're about to introduce into this diagram, they may not cross each other, they cannot be broken, nor can you go outside the box or through a box or move the letters. In other words, the only space that you can go into is this space. Okay, your objective is to join the boxes A to A with 1 line, B to B with 1 line, C to C with 1 line. But those 3 lines, those new 3 lines, cannot cross over each other, nor can they be broken. Nor may you go outside the big box. 6 seconds, the clock starts now. A to A, B to B, C to C. This is no trick, completely solvable.
Yes, ma'am.
Good man, 1 down. There are no spaces here. You can't have the lines because these boxes sit on this line.
Connect B to B.
Excuse me, put your head down. It can be done. It can be done. Is it done? It can. Is it done? Here's a very competitive guy who cannot take not giving it. You're very blue, sir. Yeah, you are. Yeah, no, I think you're blue there too. It's a bit blue in you. Some people like to be red, but they're actually blue. A to A, B to B, C to C. Have you got it done? Okay. Just 1 in the whole room, 40 odd people. You can stand up and take a bow. Do you want the answer? It's very frustrating when you don't get it, isn't it?
Yes.
Will you see how simple this is? A to A, are you watching, sir? A to A with 1 line, okay? C to C with 1 line?
Yes.
You see the answer?
Yes.
Very easy. Do you know why you struggle mentally doing that little puzzle? It's because every single person from that height is programmed that the alphabet runs in sequence ABC. Can I ask you, sir, in what sequence did you do that puzzle?
I stood the B to B.
You hear this? He did B first, then what?
B to B first.
Yeah, and then what second?
Second was C to C.
Right, look at this. He did C, B, C, A. Okay? Now here's the point. Alright? If you try to solve that puzzle, okay? Think about it. If you try to solve that puzzle, let's just show you this. This is important. If you try to solve that puzzle A to A, and then you do B to B, the pathway is blocked. So if you think the way you've always been programmed to think, A, B, C, because the alphabet goes A, B, C, then you get stuck. But if you do as this gentleman did, and you change your thinking, he did B, C, A, the problem can be solved in less than 6 seconds. That is the point that I want to leave you with. You must teach yourself to be mentally flexible and think differently, because that is the essence of leadership, that is the essence of being a red tulip. And if you can think differently and switch your communication style, then you can connect with anyone. If you're blue and you can be red, and you're green and you can be yellow, you can click with anybody you meet. That gives you incredible influence. That is what leadership is about. All right? Give this man a round of applause. Under 6 seconds. That's very good. Okay, I think. Can I?
Principles of social intelligence.
Sorry?
SI principles. You have written, no? We'll have some.
Do you want me to do that?
Just quickly, 5 minutes.
On the.
On email to email.
Social
Forward to media
cognitive.
principles of.
Oh, yes, on social intelligence. Right. It's completely different thing. Okay. In terms of how I use this, by the way, on the internet, all right? One of the things that's really, really important in terms of how I connect with people over the internet, social intelligence is all about getting people to cooperate with you. Okay? If I was to give you one clue in how I get people to cooperate with me, it's using that little tool. Okay? I listen very, very intently. When people are speaking to me over the internet, every single word they say, I catch it. Every word, not just the basis of the conversation, but every single word. So if they say the word fun, I'm going to say the word fun back. If they say because that's a yellow word. If they say the word practical, I'm going to say the word practical back. So I get connection verbally over the internet. Okay, that is the tool that I actually use to do that. All right. Secondly, one of the things that I do when I'm what I call iMail as opposed to email. Okay, so looking at people, I watch people's facial expressions. So one of the things that you need to do in social intelligence is really pay attention to the person's face and really listen. So observation and listening when you're dealing with people over the internet needs to go through the roof. Every single facial expression that you make, micro expression, I will be tracking that. So if there's even a hint of a smile, I'm going to pick that up. If there's a hint of confusion, I'm going to pick that up. If you move your eyes, I'm going to pick that up. I am watching your face intently for any reaction, because I'm not physically in the same room. So all you can see is the face over the internet. Here's another wee thing, be very, very careful about in internet communication. Very, very important for social intelligence. Watch what you wear, okay? Dark colours are not good. And because there was a guy even that it was beamed in a conference, this was really, really bad. And he wore a black polar neck jumper. And the black polar neck jumper was right up to his neck, and his face, his huge big face, was being beamed into the internet center. It was terrible. It was really, really bad. And this guy should have known better. He was a top speaker from America, and it was he obviously had not done internet before. So make sure you're wearing bright colours, and make sure the distance on the camera, that your face isn't all they see, even though the face you want to be studying. The other thing to be careful about as well, what is behind you? When you are talking to people over the internet, make sure that you have a proper screen behind you, that people are not distracted by what's going on, or they don't nosy into your office and see your mess, if you have a mess, if you're a yellow person. But that's the two things that I would say really give you that connection. One, using that little tool, hanging on every single word they say and matching communication. And secondly, watching for facial expressions. Be careful, by the way, in your culture of nodding, particularly when you're dealing with global clients, if you have to speak to someone in another country. For example, back in the West, there are three, some of you are nodding at me now, right? There's 3 speeds of nod. So you've got to be very conscious of nodding. This means I'm following what you're saying. Okay? So the slow nod means I'm following what you're saying. Slightly faster nod means I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Okay? So be very careful that you're not going. Right? Because if you're nodding faster, the assumption, the non-verbal, is that you're agreeing. Right? And if the nod goes a lot faster, that means hurry up. Okay? Speed up. Alright? So be quite conscious of what you're doing with your non-verbals. Okay? The other wee thing that's quite funny, but I don't know that you can do anything about this because it's a technical thing. Have you ever been talking to someone on the internet and the IT froze? Just stops. You know, the connection stops. And you find, if you're a very animated person, you could find yourself in the middle of a session, you know, with a very, you know, a huge reaction, but there's nothing you can do about that. A couple of times I have frozen on clients and I've been quite animated about what I've just been saying and I look like something scary. There's nothing you can do about that. When the computer comes back on, you know, because sometimes it only freezes for a second and then it unfreezes, just make a joke about it and just say, you know, wasn't that pretty? Didn't I look pretty? You know, it's just have a bit of a sense of humour, because the IT can really, it can really mess you up a bit. You know, if you have a big animated face, there's nothing you can do about it other than laugh. All right? Keep a sense of humour. You're hearing, you're listening. Put it up a different level. Every single word you got to pay attention to. All right? Smile at people. Hello. Talk to them as if you're having a normal conversation in your living room. That's what I call a virtual hug. All right? You do not get awkward just because it's IT. Right? Talk to you later. See you soon. Send you an email. Very conversational style works over the internet. And watch the facial expressions. If for a second someone's going like this, stop in the middle of the conversation and say, are you unsure about something? You just look as if you didn't sort of catch that. Just have a normal conversation. Because don't let the IT get in the way. And remember, keep your backgrounds clean and wear bright colours and don't sit too close to the camera. Those are the little clues. But using that tool, the red, green, yellow, I know I've literally only scraped the surface of that. There's a lot more information on that. That is the tool that I use to get the connection. By the way, don't get lazy. I've noticed some people on the internet connections, they get lazy about timekeeping. If you tell someone that you are having an online meeting at 10 o'clock, please be ready at 3 minutes to 10. You know, it's not the same as turning up at 20 past 10 physically. Online meetings must be kept to time, because the reason you're having an online meeting is because it minimises having to travel somewhere. So please respect what I call IT etiquette and be 3 minutes ahead of time and make sure if you've any technical problems, you'll sort them out in that 3 to 5 minutes. All right, and always have a person's phone number. Because if the IT breaks down, you can send a text and say, trying to get online here, give me 5 minutes. There's nothing as bad as when you're fumbling to get into an online meeting and you don't even have the connection point. You haven't got a phone contact. All right? So those are the rules that I use, and they really, really, really do work. And I'm coaching people as far away as Thailand, you know, France, Italy, Germany, America, across the world. And they do seem to be a set of rules that hold through no matter what country you're in. The time thing's very important. Okay? But use that tool and you'll connect with anyone and keep a smile on your face. Alright? I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I hope I've given you something of value, and I'll send some slides through because I know there's more information on this stuff that you really need to study for yourself, because I've only touched the surface. Alright? Thank you very much for your time and your attention.